Once again, for the second half of this game, Star Spangled Hammer.
I'll tell you what, it is so great to see how Derby is developing across the pond. I mean, this team, this Southern Discomfort squad, they are absolutely bringing it here in the first day of Spring Roll 2014.
They are. Southern Discomfort in the white, Mass Maelstrom in the blue. It's a tie game, and Mr. Furio heading things up against Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park is out first, and he's going to be your lead jammer. Mr. Furio having a hard time right now with a strong Mass Maelstrom defense. Big hit. Wow.
Piston broke, just laying the smack down on Jurassic Park, forcing him to recycle back. Now Park finds his way through and picks up a grand slam as Furio makes his initial pass. Mass Maelstrom first to break the tie.
Next up on the line for Southern Discomfort, that's Ballistic going up against Conlon for Mass Maelstrom. Good strong start by both squads defensively.
Conlon to the outside, jukes to the inside, and Conlon is the lead jammer. Maelstrom.
Hasselman's been a thorn in Jammer's sides all day, and he gives Ballistic some extra love in there.
Wow. Conlon calls it off on his belly.
Yeah. Ballistic lobbying for a point there. Rockety Roller's like, no.
Cilantro and Reaper. Got a little southern there. Cilantro, not cilantro.
You say tomato, I say tomato.
Yes, but I try not to say it that way. That's the point. Cilantro out first. He is the lead jammer. And Reaper almost in pursuit, but has to recycle to the back. Webb blocker for Mass Maelstrom going to the penalty box. So Southern Discomfort in a minor pack advantage. And that's going to help Reaper make his initial pass. Cilantro calls off the jam. And oh, there's some disgruntled people here.
Well, let's face it, it's not a derby bout without disgruntled fans.
That's true. Southern Discomfort unable to put a single point on the board in the second half. Has the strategy changed that much?
Well, you know, both teams are definitely looking to make some changes to their strategies coming into the second half, and right now it looks like Mass Maelstrom's has worked the best. No big deal now out there jamming for the first time, I believe, this evening for Mass Maelstrom. Furio, meanwhile, finds a gap on the inside line, shoots through it, and he's your lead jammer.
Furio looking to make me eat my words. It's a hop, but no. Almost a track cut. Manages to avoid it, shuts down the jam, and neither jammer with any points.
Nice big hit there by Mars Travolta as he cut that apex jump off. And then a little bit of a stare down there on Mr. Furio as Mr. Furio got back up. A little bit of showmanship there.
There's definitely some intensity between these two teams. Ballistic on the line in the white for Southern Discomfort. Jurassic Park in the blue for Mass Maelstrom. Park goes to the inside in turn two and is the lead jammer and is in a power jam. A track cut will send Ballistic straight to the penalty box, and an opportunity for Maelstrom to add more cotton to that pillow.
Jurassic Park so fast in open space, he quickly gets back around for another scoring pass. And there it is, another 5 points. Grand slam, Mass Maelstrom.
A double in looks to make it a triple here as he holds the line on the outside.
Multiplayer block called on Stoner. Heading to the penalty box. 4-on-3 pack advantage in favor of Mass Maelstrom.
Ballistic ends the power jam, but power still on the hands of Jurassic Park as he's going to end the jam there. A clockwise block at the whistle by Spectral, blocker for Southern Discomfort. And another 5, I believe, by my count. That was a 20-point jam. Might have been a 15, but I think it was a 20-point jam. Most points picked up in any one jam so far in this game.
So a 4-on-2 pack advantage here as this jam begins for Mass Maelstrom. It's Reaper on the line for Southern Discomfort against Conlon for Mass Maelstrom.
What in the first half was a back-and-forth battle has been all Mass Maelstrom, as they do have control of the jam once again, this time courtesy of our Conlon. Reaper's down, and we're going to have the medics come out to check on Reaper.
Reaper skates off under his own power, a little shaken. We'll see if he returns to play. We hope he's okay as he shakes the cobwebs off. He has to sit. That jam was called due to his injury, so he's going to have to sit at least 3 jams. So it'll be interesting to see how that affects their jammer rotation.
Reaper certainly had a lot of success in the first half, but hopefully he'll be like James Bond, shaken but not stirred.
and right off the bat, we're going to see the change here as Stoner takes the jam line for Southern Discomfort for the first time, likely in place of Reaper in that jammer rotation.
Cilantro, who we've talked about a lot here, jamming for Mass Maelstrom. And Cilantro breaks out first. Cilantro is the lead jammer. Mass Maelstrom has been dominant for 7 straight minutes.
Right now working on a 38-0 run here over those 7 minutes.
And while the first half seemed to have flown by, those 7 minutes are surprising to me because it feels like 15. And that's a good thing when it comes to Mass Maelstrom. They really have locked down their strategy, plugged any holes, and given no quarter. They will take one, though, as Stoner gives up a power jam.
Cilantro getting pinballed around out there. He calls that jam off. So we're going to start with a fresh pack out there on the power jam. Number 508 for Mass Maelstrom. No Big Deal is going to start this jam unopposed.
First time on the jam line for No Big Deal. I would make a big deal of that, but I don't think I'm supposed to.
Southern Discomfort putting up a very stiff defense here on this power jam to start. Ballistic actually out there with the pivot on.
Maelstrom with control once again. Southern Discomfort's only controlled one jam in the second half, and that one ended up in a 0-0 jam.
So far, it would appear that Mass Maelstrom's adjustments at halftime have been the factor here in the second half so far.
Ballistic going to the penalty box.
Oh, this is an interesting situation. They were in the middle of a star pass when Ballistic was sent to the penalty box, so sitting in the penalty box as the jammer now.
So it's a power jam for Mass Maelstrom. And the jam ends, and another 5 points to the boys in blue.
So Mass Maelstrom putting on a defensive clinic right now, holding Discomfort scoreless throughout the first 10 minutes of this second half.
Unbelievable change between the first and second half. R. Conlon jamming. Largely unopposed right now as he's still in a power jam and is in control. As the power jam ends, Ballistic dons the star for Southern Discomfort. Both jammers on their scoring run. Conlon glides to the back straightaway to a quick 5 and calls off the jam.
A 53-0 run now, just over 10 and a half minutes into this second half. All Mass Maelstrom so far here in the second half.
The pendulum decidedly stuck at the peak of one side now. Cilantro and Mr. Furio.
Oh.
High block on Sutton. But it's Furio. Furio is the lead jammer. Cilantro breaks through, but Cilantro has a track cut. It's a power jam for Southern Discomfort.
So a big opportunity here for Southern Discomfort to stop the bleeding and try to build some momentum, get that pendulum back on their side.
Southern Discomfort trying just to cauterize the wound at this point.
So they may have the power jam, but they are down 4-2 in the pack. Two Southern Discomfort blockers sitting in the penalty box at the moment. Big hit by Coulter and a forearm call.
It may be 5-0. Another hard hit. The jam ends in an 8-point jam for Mr. Furio. But it's the first 8 points in the first 12 minutes.
Now we've got a timeout. Referees calling captains out and coaches out to center track. Looks like a timeout called by Mass Maelstrom. So
even if you play dirty, you want to smell clean. Notorious Red, official sponsor here. of Spring Roll. I'm being told it's the notorious RED, which makes more sense to me. Also, Pepper House Designs, custom derby products and embroidery apparel, providing all of the color designed wristbands for our officials here at Spring Roll.
Make sure to hit up the Derbalife booth here at Spring Roll. You get 10% off any orders. Stop by and sign up for the Derby Fit Challenge starting in a week. Also stop by and register to win a free 7-day Derbalife skincare trial. Derbalife, Derby Fitness and Nutrition, put more life in your game.
Speaking of more life on the track, interesting addition, Reaper back on the track.
Hey.
So there's your update with the star in his head. So it's definitely some good news there.
That is good to see. You never like to see a head bounce off the floor like that. You always have to worry about that possible concussion, but obviously cleared by the medical staff, so not likely a concussion here. They would not be letting him back out there, so that's good to see.
Still in deep discussion there as the captains and coaches anxiously await the decision of the Zebras. It's not often that you see both sequins and velvet at roller derby.
You know what, though? Nothing clothing-wise surprises me anymore.
It's true. I don't think clothing. I think clothing stopped surprising me in Derby the first time I ever worked with dump truck.
Yeah, that's yeah. I really can't add to that.
Yeah. What an amazing voice, though. He's gone on to have an incredible career outside of Derby. I'm really glad I got to call with him before he retired. Mostly retired. So the score right now, 123 to 78. Southern Discomfort trails.
All right, so that review, Mass Maelstrom asking for a penalty call on number 3 for his hit on Cilantro there at the end of that jam. And the penalty being assessed, so I believe that's Sutton sitting over in the penalty box now.
Interesting.
So not enough information for the referees to.
I think I just heard a "get it, girl" out of the audience.
Not enough information there for the refs to call it egregious, but they did give a 30-second penalty. A lot of room.
Reaper wide. Reaper back in off of that injury. Power jam in. Cilantro trying to find his way through, and Cilantro out first, but Reaper in hot pursuit. Reaper slides Cilantro out wide and forces him to call off the jam. Nice. And some great sportsmanship between the two competitors there. Very good jam.
And now we see Ballistic back on the jam line for Southern Discomfort, taking on Jurassic Park for Mass Maelstrom.
It's one thing that you don't often see is a game that has this much aggression, this much tension, and still this much sportsmanship between the two. And it's an admirable and a wonderful thing to see between these two teams,
yeah,
regardless of the score.
Yeah, definitely no hard feelings with the physicality of this play here. They know they're just out there playing a game, and at the end of the day, they're going to get together and have a drink here shortly.
You know, that time shortens up even more as a power jam in play for Mass Maelstrom. Ballistic going to the penalty box. However, Maelstrom dropping one of its own blockers to the box as well.
So Jurassic Park, the lone jammer, however, he did not get through cleanly on his initial pass, so he will not be lead jammer. This jam will go the full 2 minutes.
Getting some incredible information on the side we might be able to share with you later this weekend. Right now it's just a rumor, so you'll have to keep tuning in here to DerbyNewsNetwork.com or be here live at Fort Wayne for that pending announcement. In the meantime, a couple of spin moves by Ballistic, and he is on his scoring run, but it's Mass Maelstrom out with a quick 5. And he's going to be content to keep going. Ballistic. Hard stopped in the back.
So that jam comes to its natural conclusion. And for those of you watching at home on DNN, we got a note earlier during the earlier bout that I announced, the Magic City Race City bout. I was notified that we had at least 7 different countries tuning in already this weekend for spring roll action. I saw Netherlands, Australia, Britain, France, a little Canada sprinkled in there. So that's pretty neat. It's pretty neat that we can get those metrics and see that the Derby is being watched all around the world right now. It's really cool.
Somebody in Australia say hi to Honest Dave for me. I'll be seeing you in December.
So back to action, Mr. Furio out there jamming for Southern Discomfort. I believe that's Byron out there. Nope, sorry. That's Conlon out there for Mass Maelstroms.
Furio out on his scoring run, and a quick call off by Conlon, adding 3 unanswered. And so while we had an incredibly tight first half, this half has been 75-10 Hammer.
Yeah, this second half has been all Mass Maelstrom. I'm not sure what they did at halftime, what they drank, what the Kool-Aid was that their coach sprinkled in their water bottles, but I'll tell you what, they have come out of here swinging in the second half and have gone on a 75-10 run and have shown absolutely no signs of slowing down. We'd like to thank Vanilla Derby, proudly supporting a 2014 Spring Roll Tournament. From fresh meat to vets, Vanilla Derby is there for all your skating needs. Get the performance and quality you expect at a fraction of the price. Check us out at vanillaskates.com.
Also, don't forget about Wicked Skatewear. Everybody knows Wicked Skatewear, an apparel and uniform company that happens to sell roller skates as well, based in Huntington Beach. Wicked Skatewear, online and here live in Fort Wayne at Spring Roll. Byron and Reaper. Byron in the blue on the inside, Reaper in the white on the outside. Southern Discomfort trails by 65 and only has 13 minutes of regulation. And a nice swing and a miss as Reaper dodges a big block and is the lead jammer. Reaper recycling to the back in the widest way possible.
Byron thought he was going to lay a hit on Reaper and ends up paying the price. Getting called for a forearm, so that's going to send him off. So a power jam situation here for Southern Discomfort.
Power jam. Reaper now with a grand slam. This is exactly what Southern Discomfort needs. It's a steep mountain, but it's not one that can't be climbed. Is that right? Yes.
Yeah, climbed is correct.
Sounded odd.
It does sound odd. Reaper takes another big hit as that jam comes to an end.
And once again, a great show of sportsmanship as Webb there checking on Reaper. Some of the best sportsmanship I've seen in my entire Derby career in this game right here. Hands down.
Yep, Ballistic on the line now for Southern Discomfort. He's going up against Cilantro.
Piston broke, going to the penalty box, jam ends.
A quick announcement. If you are the Charminator, please report to Persephone's treasure table. If you're the Charminator, please report to Persephone's treasures table.
If you're not the Charminator,
go to Persephone's treasures and buy stuff.
Or say that you're the... No, don't do that.
No, we will not condone stealing on the broadcast.
That's right.
Night.
Only off of it. Back to the action. Mr. Furio just absolutely, well, furious to try to get through.
Furious, so close.
However, control goes to Mass Maelstrom, our Conlon. Conlon now. Furio, who was so close to stealing control, now has been tied up completely, and Conlon looks to pick up a grand slam, and pick it up he does.
Forearm call on No Big Deal is going to even up the pack at 3 apiece. Conlon calls that jam off after picking up 3 points, 0 points for Southern Discomfort, as that lead stretches ever further.
153 to 92.
61 points separating these two squads with 9:30 to go here in the second half.
Rolling Thunder donning the star on his head for Southern Discomfort for the first time tonight. Puts a hit on Cilantro, and it might pay off. Advantage to Rolling Thunder right now. Rolling Thunder pushes through on the inside, takes a spill, but is the lead jammer. Crowd seemed to think that he didn't need to recycle, but he did anyway. And it doesn't matter, he's still way out. Cilantro still caught in the pack.
I'll tell you what, this second half, even though the score has been a little more lopsided, it has been just as physical as the first half.
Rolling Thunder with 5 on the scorecard already. A star pass, and Gaudette takes the star and becomes the jammer for Maelstrom. And is in a power jam. Rolling Thunder trying to call off the jam, but picks up a track cut right at the moment he was trying to do it. He's going to go to the penalty box. And so opportunity knocked and went home. As Maelstrom back in control.
Power jam in favor of Mass Maelstrom. However, they are down 2 blockers in the pack, a 4-on-2 pack advantage in favor of Southern Discomfort. Of course, no sooner do I say that than Stoner heads to the penalty box, so now a 3-on-2 pack advantage.
Penalty party in the box. Gaudette eats a shoulder, shimmies through to the outside of the front straightaway and picks up another 5.
$66 points now, the difference between these two teams. Mass Maelstrom 163, Southern Discomfort 97, just under 7 minutes to go here in the second half of a game that has been absolutely fantastic.
It really has, and you know, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall to see what Mass Maelstrom saw, what holes they needed to plug up, because they did it. They did it with precision, and it has paid off in spades.
This has definitely been a game of 2 halves. First half, these two teams so evenly matched that they went into halftime 70-70 apiece. But the second half right now has really been all Mass Maelstrom.
Reaper is the lead jammer as control goes to Southern Discomfort.
Oh, nice apex jump there by Reaper to grab those points. 4 big points there for Southern Discomfort as he calls that jam off.
Southern Discomfort now finally breaking the century mark. Still trails by 62. As Ballistic sizes up against R. Conlon. Conlon out first. Both jammers on the scoring run, but it's Conlon in control.
Mass Maelstrom perfectly content to take the 1 point because now every time they call that jam off, another 30 seconds runs off that clock. That much closer to taking home their first win of the weekend.
Mr. Furio for Southern Discomfort.
Mr. Furio.
Cilantro, of course, for Mass Maelstrom.
Mr. Furio and Cilantro jockeying for position as they enter the pack. Mr. Furio gets out first. He's going to be your lead jammer.
Southern Discomfort now starting to thread some jams together. Oh. Nice move on the outside and picks up 5. Southern Discomfort has finally found their tuning, but do they have enough time to play a full song?
Oh, Mr. Furio with a nice little apex jump to follow Cilantro through the pack.
Only 1 blocker on the track for Southern Discomfort. Maelstrom denied any as Southern Discomfort takes a nice bite out of the lead of Mass Maelstrom.
Only 52 points separate these two squads, but only 3:20 left to go on the clock. Not a whole lot of time. Reaper on the line for Southern Discomfort against Conlon for Mass Maelstrom.
Reaper almost pushed out wide, but holds the line. Reaper makes a move. Reaper on the inside of the back straightaway, and no! A track cut for Reaper. He's going to the penalty box as Art Conlon has the lead jammer.
Boy, boy, boy. Just as Southern Discomfort looked like they were starting to put a little something together, the proverbial wheels fall off and a power jam now in favor of Mass Maelstrom.
Conlon tiptoes through to a quick 5. Conlon just eating it up with another 5.
Mass Maelstrom clearly looking to run as much time off the clock as they can here. That clock just as big an enemy to Southern Discomfort as Mass Maelstrom at this point.
179 to 112 as we're underneath the 2-minute mark. And you can smell the excitement here. Don't forget, if you're watching on DNN, this goes on for 3 days. And the action just gets more tense from here.
Well, I'll tell you what, late night, if day 1 is any indication of what we've got to look forward to in days 2 and 3, it is going to be one humdinger of a weekend, my friend.
I think it could be a year for the spring roll that people will be talking about for years to come. Nice move and a grand slam for Ballistic. Ballistic in a power jam, a back block for Gaudette. Will send him to the penalty box. Opportunity. Southern Discomfort with another 5.
This could very well be the last jam of the game here. Less time on the clock than there is on the jam clock.
15 so far for Ballistic. So far, 20 points is the most points scored in any one jam. In this one, the jam will end 18 total for Ballistic. And a timeout. We're going to have one more jam.
That's right. Jukebox going to call a timeout here, so we're going to get one more jam in. 48 points separate these two squads. 13.1 seconds on the clock. Mass Maelstrom leads 179. Southern Discomfort 131.
Crowd showing favor to this. As these teams, regardless of the second half swing, have battled through and through. I've said it before. I've seen a lot of Derby have great sportsmanship, but I don't think I've ever seen a Derby game have so much aggression and still have this level of sportsmanship.
Yeah, these are two big physical teams. They're going out there and throwing bodies around, but at the same time, they realize it is just a game. They're out there to have fun. Most of all, nobody wants to get hurt because it's a long weekend.
Mr. Furio starting off in a power jam. Furio on the outside. Furio down hard, but bounces up quickly. Furio still in bounds, holds the line on the outside, is the lead jammer, but has to recycle back. Power jam is over now. Big spill in turn 2 as an opportunity for Gaudette as he's on his scoring run, and Furio down again and caught in the pack.
Mass Maelstrom has really picked up their defense here in this last jam, knowing that this is going to be it. And finally, that whistle is blown.
Woo!
5 points there for Mass Maelstrom.
Gaudette stealing a grand slam right there at the end.
Waiting for an official word on the final. Scoreboard right now shows Mass Maelstrom 184, Southern Discomfort 131. I got a feeling that is likely to be the final, but we are waiting official word.
It's been a solid officiated game thus far. Well, the game's over, so that can't change.